just like not sure if he had a different person other than us.
He made it a lot different than Nate, so I like that name.
Yeah.
I really don't want Nate to win this challenge. I made an offer to Cassie. If you bring Kurt to the Final Four, I get to bring someone who I want. And she was very interested in that offer. So Nate winning it would really throw a wrench in it temporarily, because then I think a vote would fall on me or Kurt.
I am not 1,000,000% sold on who I'm voting out next, but I hope Mark doesn't win, so I have the option. Against maybe my better judgment, and definitely against things I've said before. Kurt and I are trying to go together. I've said I would never do it. It's a little bit scarier now that I just played his idol because I don't have a big move, but at least have protected him plenty. As long as the third one isn't Mark, me or Kurt have a really good shot. I'm not really worried about the others.
All right, guys, bring it in. First things first, Mark, give me back the necklace.
What are you talking about?
All right, immunity is back up for grabs and more important than ever. If you win this, you get a shot at being in the final 5, but you're gonna have to earn it. Today we have a difficult challenge. You see 6 different bags that are out in the end of the yard there. You're gonna have to run out, grab a bag. That bag is full of puzzle pieces. Once you get to your station, you need to start working on your puzzle. It is an 8-word phrase, and it is a phrase that is common on the show of Survivor, I'll say that. Go! Shade table. Make sure to shout my name and raise your hand when you think you have it.
No ease. You do it on Survivor.
All right, Cass wins. Impressive. We have yet another unique individual challenge winner. Nobody has doubled up yet. Yes. Cass, come on over here.
Okay.
Good job. All right, you have guaranteed yourself a spot in the final 5. All right, for the rest of you got some work to do. Figure it out, and I'll see you at Tribal.
I just learned how you get to the final 3. That was good information to have that I did not know. I thought it was just, you know, last immunity and the 4th person got voted out. That is not correct. I think I had the most rapport with Kurt, and I do think I lost some trust there with this last vote, but I think we can work on it, and it might be okay. You didn't know that was not a real idol?
He didn't. I think. I was like, wait, you knew that was a fake idol, right?
I wouldn't do it if you knew.
I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. Is there anyone that you feel like you are like, you're like, oh, I really want to vote with this person? Like, I mean, you're saying maybe you're not that close with Mark? Or is it maybe not about that?
I'm more in the boat of, I think he may in the final 4.
Honestly, I think my biggest strategy going forward is to just survive. I think if I just survive, I think I have a chance against anyone. I know people are going to be gunning for me. I don't know if I can survive. Maybe we have to go look for another idol or something.
I did know that my fake idol was fake. I knew that before, but I think they all believed it. Because as soon as I got back, I was like, oh, who made that? Who made that? I didn't get duped. Theirs was old and soggy, very unprofessional. I'm not falling for that. I also planted another fake idol. Found some tinfoil, so I wrapped a rock in it, wrapped a rope around it. Mine is crisp and clean because it's been in a Ziploc bag for over a day. So I don't know if they're gonna find it. I hope they do. And I hope they get duped just like they thought I did, because I didn't get duped. But I think I can survive this one.
But I mean, I'm less of like, oh, I really want to sit next to these people, and more like, I don't want to sit next to some people. It's my time. I think Cassie and Mark are the two that I would not want there the most. That's something I've been trying to do this whole game, is not get locked into one strategy or one person that if that person goes out or flips on me, then it's dead. The thing I'm just worried about is with that idol play that was correct, I'm definitely expecting my name to be thrown around a good bit. I think getting rid of Cassie and Mark would be ideal. I think if I did that, that would be great.
Nothing is clear anymore. If I get past this one, I'm playing my idol at 5. Haha, haha. I don't think anybody thinks I have a resume yet, but I have more resume than they think. I'm going to explain myself at the final tribal council. I'm going to be there.
Welcome. You know, with the way the last 2 tribals have gone, I decided to bring my snacks. So I'll take one. You guys can go ahead and share these among yourselves as well.
Thank you, Jeff.
Let's start off with talking about advantages and different ways to protect yourself in this game. Talking about the shot in the dark. We've only seen one played so far. Of course, that didn't work, but there's other advantages that have worked. Kurt, you successfully played an idol last tribal, and you're here because of it. You guys think there's any chance that there still could be idols out there?
We have sworn from day one that no one on Grillo ever found our idol, and I'm convinced of it. Unless Jacob has it with him, I don't know who else could have possibly had it. So it's either out there or someone has it out there.
Well, you never know. I always like to tell you, Survivor is a game that has a lot of twists, turns, and changes. You've always got to keep your eyes open because you never know what new thing is going to be added to the game. Cassie, how does it feel to have your first individual immunity win?
Fantastic. If I'm only going to win one, I'm glad it's right now.
Well, congrats on that. Obviously, the smaller this game gets, the more and more valuable that necklace feels, because there's really nowhere to hide in a group this size, even if you guys have been working together for a long time. This is one of those times, too, where, I mean, a lot of people are starting to think about resume. I mean, the jury is sitting right over here. You're also thinking about, okay, what am I doing to impress the jury, as well as, is there someone I want to get on the jury because I think that I'm going to have their vote? Nate, are you thinking about that?
I think everybody here is hoping for me to say the word jury in their resume today. So I'm thinking about it. They know I'm thinking about it, but we're all thinking about it. There's no way to not think about it at this point in the game.
Do you feel like you've done enough to impress the jury to win $100?
Yeah, I hope so. But we still have more game to play.
Yeah? Mark?
Yeah, I think I've got a few things to pitch. I think I am at a little bit of a disadvantage because I had a lifeline from Lucas. That kind of hurts a little bit, the resume, but I think I've done a good bit since the merge to make sure my position here.
Kurt?
Yeah, you know, resume is big when you get down to the end of the game, but it's not everything. It's also about the way that you present your resume. One person can do one move and it really impresses the jury because they explain the reasons behind it and it makes sense and that impresses the jury. It's a great move. Or it could be the exact same move. If it's not explained in the right way, it could not maybe impress the jury the same way. So resume is important, but it's also the way you communicate that.
Okay.
You also think about blindsides and things like that. If someone gets blindsided, there's a chance that they respect that a lot and are impressed because you felt them worthy enough to get out that way and also that you were able to accomplish it. Chance they're mad and like don't actually want to vote for you because you were a part of getting them out in a way that was sneaky. So some of that is going to depend on how people feel about less than upfront game planning and what that looks like for them to vote for or against that.
Yeah.
Half the people I've lied to are sitting with me here, so it makes it harder to work with them. Hopefully not, but it would be nicer for the people I lied to all be over there.
Well, half of these people are going to be on the jury, at least half of them. All right, it's time to vote.
We'll see how this one goes. Cassie, if you have an idol on your line to everyone, that is literally insane.
I could be getting duped again, dude. I have no idea. I know my name was brought up and your name is brought up.
This works. Kind of been a long time coming, but it's been fun actually working together for a little bit.
If anyone has an idol that they would like to play, now is the time to do so. All right, I'll read the votes. First vote. Nate. Mark. votes Mark. Mark. 1 vote Nate, 3 votes Mark. Next person voted out of Survivor 46 now. Mark, that's enough. Bring me your sword. Mark, the tribe is spoken. Time for you to go.
It was a really fun game. I think they kind of identified me as a threat. I don't know if that was from a challenge standpoint or what. I think it was hard to break free of that. That was probably unanimous, so I guess they all kind of knew. So unfortunately, they were all lying to me at the very end. Kate is the only one left in our tribe, so I hope she's able to fare well. I'm excited to see how it pans out.
Yay, we got Mark out. My head hurts. It's a combination of being tired, hungry, lack of sleep. But now I really don't know where this is gonna go. I feel like personally, I'm just being dragged in because it seems like I'm perhaps to say it.
It was a hard vote. I was really torn on it right until the end. I was not in any danger because I had immunity, but we had Mark and Kate who wanted to go with me and Kurt to the final 4. And then we had Hime and Nate who wanted to get Mark out. And Kurt and I just said, we're gonna just pick something and work together and just decide. And so he left it up to me because I had more of the power to choose. And at the very last second, just kind of on a whim, I was like, I guess we'll go with Mark, get out one more threat. Because if it's me, Mark, and Kurt sitting at the end, which it could have been, I don't love my chances in that. If it's just me and Kurt, I like them at least a little bit better.
I feel really good after that vote. I was nervous that Cassie didn't want to go Mark. Turns out that we didn't actually even need her to go to Mark because we had the votes without her, but we were able to pull her in. I don't think she was happy that I didn't go with her plan, but she went with mine anyway. I'm expecting either Cassie or I to go home on this next tribal. I feel like I need to win it. This next immunity challenge is huge, like literally huge.
Immunity is back up for grabs. Today's challenge, you're going to be standing on one end of the 2x4. Your job is to balance a ball on the plate on the other end. If you drop your ball off of your plate, you're out. You are not allowed to hold your leg and support or anything like that. You guys can go ahead and get your foot onto the painted area. Your helper's going to put the ball right there on the middle on that washer. This challenge is on. You're out. Wait, I said your hand's not allowed to touch your leg like that.
Oh, so sad, you guys.
Hit the 10-minute mark, we will reset and will not be allowed to have the ball fall off the wall. Just hit 10 minutes, so help your people get the ball back on the washer. All right, we're live. If it comes off, you're done. All right, Cassie's out. Good effort. Batting ball, all that. There's probably a lot of people there. Oh, there goes Nate. Kate, congratulations. Individual immunity is yours. You have secured yourself a spot in the final 4. That is quite the accomplishment. The rest of you, go figure out what you're gonna do. I'll see you at Tribal.
I do think legitimately that Nate has the chance to be the most engaging, and you're just trying to get people to like you and vote for you. So if you want to tell me, it's fine. I can roll with it. You can have Kurt if you want, if that seems more believable.
I think you and Kurt seem like the obvious threats to him.
So I heard Cassie and Hime say your name.
You heard Hime say my name?
Yeah.
I was expecting that from Cassie though.
Yeah.
She was telling us Cassie.
She was saying Cassie.
And me and Kate were talking Cassie.
I'm down for Cassie. And you still have that knowledge power, don't you?
She can only use it at 6. But she doesn't have an idol.
You have it? When did you find out?
Dude, I found it yesterday morning so early. Oh, I'm chilling, dude. Playing my idol tonight. There's no way I don't play it for me. I've already heard that Cassie's running up my name. And I'm assuming Curtis is with me, but he's not. He knows I have an idol. I told him because it's to persuade him not to.
He's like, we actually already talked about Nate before you came out. Which maybe they would have maybe they won't. Okay. But I honestly think those two are less likely to actively lie, like start.
They're not good.
Yeah, they're not going to.
Yeah.
So I'm banking on that. But something was super helpful that I learned, at least from Kate's perspective. She thinks that Hunter and Lucas and Mark have somewhat of a game grudge against Nate right now. Even though he had nothing to do with those votes. So I feel decent.
Yeah.
Like,
This one's definitely nerve-wracking.
Because if people are smart, it's one of us.
Good to see you guys. We are here to decide who's going to the Final 4. But we're not talking about March Madness. We're talking about Survivor. Kurt, how do you like your chances of making it into that Final 4?
Oh, Jeff. You never feel good coming to Tribal. I think this one may be the most nervous I've been. I have a plan, and I think it'll go to plan, but you never know. And it would just suck to make it this far and get voted out right at the end.
So far, right? Because this might be the last time that you don't truly have your own fate, at least to some degree, in your own hands.
Exactly.
And this is a big vote. Nate, how are you feeling coming in tonight?
I've had a couple plans that didn't go my way, but I feel really good that this plan's about to go our way.
Our way, okay. So you feel like there's someone here that you can really trust that you've been working with?
Enough. Which doesn't mean much, but I feel like I can trust them enough.
How nervous are you that you could be the one going home tonight?
Not at all.
Not at all, really?
I trust them.
You have a 20% chance, just theoretical probability here. That's not
trust
very...
them, dude. Some handshakes, eye contact.
It helps.
None of the looking away.
I'm nervous enough for myself and Nate, if that makes up for anything. So
Yeah.
it's all good.
I want to go in feeling confident for myself.
Okay. And so you're nervous both about your own fate and Nate's fate?
Yeah, all the above. Might as well be nervous for everybody.
Well,
Nervous
you've
for
got to be
everyone that
hoping
came.
somebody is going home tonight that's not you.
She's hoping it's me.
Really? You feel like Cassie's gunning for you?
We talked about it.
We've heard very few names today, to be clear.
I would have thought that everybody's name would come up except for Kate's. So whose names have been out there? Is there any fear that someone's been holding on to an idol this whole time and that they've just been waiting for this moment to play it?
I don't know why I have them for uni.
Yeah, the one I had didn't work.
Yeah.
What do you think's the likelihood? Give me a percent likelihood you think that an idol's coming out tonight.
I think it went home with one of our, the Grella idol. I think that went home with either Eli or Caden.
Okay.
Because I know Cassie and I have looked at those.
So much.
There's nothing in there.
So you're saying very low percentage chance.
The only thing I've seen in there almost sent me home.
Cassie, what percent chance do you think?
About 2.
2%?
My
Yeah.
best guess is that it went out with Jacob.
Jacob did not know he was about to go out. So if he found it, there's no reason for him to play it. As far as I know, none of us would have had it except for maybe him. And he, like, if Eli had it, he should have played it.
Yeah.
Caden wouldn't have known, but Caden didn't look very much. Jacob looked funny and didn't know he was going out.
Okay. Kurt, is that in line with what you're thinking?
Yeah, if it's Poisonite, I'd be shocked. But you never want to be so sure about anything in Survivor because you never know what you want.
We have seen the idols that have been played have wreaked major havoc in this game. So both times they have changed who went home. It's been pretty interesting. Well, does anyone have anything else they want to say? All right, then it's time to vote. Nate, get us started.
Good game. It's not me, so goodbye.
Very much seems like it's you or me today, buddy.
I would not be this far without you. It hurts to vote you out, but it'd be dumb of me not to.
All right, if anyone has an immunity idol that they would like to play, now is the time to do so.
This is the Grello idol. I found it yesterday morning, like really early in the morning. It's been in my underpants for every single challenge. So I went through all the discomfort just to hide it till now. You don't have to touch it.
Put it on the ground. I can tell you that is an authentic Caden immunity idol. Any votes cast for Nate will not count. All right, let's read the votes. Nate does not count. Cassie. Cassie. Next player voted out of Survivor, 46.5. Cassie.
Yep.
Cassie. Time is spoken. One last immunity challenge. The winner of that will decide who is going to go with them to the final three. The other two will face off against each other in fire. Get your stuff, get out of here.
It is by far the best decision for Kurt to vote me out, which I'm assuming will happen based on the numbers. So when I go back and change it, if I can do it, maybe. I don't know though. It's just really trying to work it out. But play a great game. I feel good about it. If anybody but Kurt wins, it's wrong. So me actually fighting hard for Kurt and the jury. So you got it.
Man, it feels so good to be in the Final Four, knowing that I can't be voted out anymore, and also being confident that if I do get put in fire, that I could probably make it happen. The Cassie vote was hard for me. Like, it was definitely the hardest vote emotionally. It wasn't the hardest vote strategically because I felt like the opportunity was right in front of me to take out Cassie, and I felt like I had to. And even Nate showed me his idol, so I knew he was going to play that.
I'm confident that Kurt will be going to Final Three. And I would be shocked if he had to go to fire and did not win. The only thing that's going to stop me from being in the Final Three is my own abilities and potentially if I can't make fire.
I was holding on to that idol for so long, and I was confident that I didn't need to use it last night, but I just wanted to play it just to show I had it. I was going to play it, and because I don't need a souvenir. If I win this one, I'm really considering taking Kurt with me, even though I think he has the best game, because I don't want to give him fire making under his belt. I'm hopeful. Still nervous. It's good to be nervous, but I'm full of hope, so I'm excited.
This is your last immunity challenge of the season for Survivor 46.5. You guys have played great. So far, nobody has won 2 immunities this season. Hime, you have a chance to keep that streak going. Otherwise, somebody is going to win their second immunity of the season and guarantee your spot in the final tribal council to plead your case to the jury to win the prize of $100. Here's how this challenge is going to work today. So you're going to transport these blocks down your ladder. Once you get all of your blocks over here, you will have to take each block one at a time through your ladder. And you have to spell out the words final 3. And you have to spell it with the F at the top and the E at the bottom, right? So you're spelling it backwards, essentially. Survivors ready? Go! There you go, good job. All right, we have the first ladder go down. So make sure you set it up behind the blue chalk mark. And make sure you...
Don't tell him that. Come on.
This is going well. Oh! Down goes his tower. Kurt's been perfect so far. As has Kate. Don't count her out. Teammate, you never know, they might do the same.
Good. He's clear.
Kurt wins. All right.
That's Kurt.
Good game. Congratulations. All right, Kurt, second individual immunity win of the season. You have made yourself into the final 3. Congratulations. You will have your chance to plead the case to the jury for the $100 prize. You now need to decide, I'll give you a little bit of time to do it, but you need to decide which of these 3 you're going to take with you and who you're going to send to the fire making challenge.
I'm thinking maybe putting Hime and Nate. I feel like Hime has a good chance just because she knows a lot of people and specifically knows Hunter. Nate has surprised me a little bit. I feel like most of the game I thought that he was kind of just not playing like super strategic and like anything like that, but then he showed me this idol which my whole tribe could not find at all. We were so surprised. We're like, whoever's lying is the best liar here. And turns out it was Nate. So if he can pull off that lie, that's something to consider going into the final tribal. He could potentially talk well about that. I'm feeling pretty good. Like honestly, if I could pick my final 4, this is it. Which is just feels great to say.
All right, welcome back. Final tribal night. Kurt, congratulations on your immunity win tonight. You got the record for most immunity wins this season with a whopping total of 2, so way to go. You had to make a decision about what you want to do here. You hold all the power in deciding who's going to get a free ride into the final 3, who's going to have to work their way there through building fire.
Right.
Have you made your choice?
I have.
Was it a hard one?
It wasn't hard, but there was definitely some thought put into it.
Raise your hand if you wanted to be the one to make fire. Oh, okay, he made it. Now, why did you guys want to say, hey, I'll put my neck out there to potentially go home?
I like the thought of earning it and bringing myself. If I can still have another chance to bring myself, put something else under my resume, under my belt on my resume, I think it would just be a great thing to add. I don't think he's going to do it. I think he's scared to send me to fire, so I don't think he's going to.
Yeah, okay. So you're kind of challenging to say, let me go and do it. Hime, why did you want to do it?
Well, I was thinking almost the same thing. I obviously am not good at challenges, and this is my last try to prove myself.
You want to say, hey, I won something and I won a competition out here.
I might not win it, but at least I can say I tried.
Well, you know that ultimately all these little competitions are about winning this big one, and here you are. There's only 4 of you left. All of these people came out here to win, and they're all on the jury. And so you've outlasted every single one of them. So don't say that you haven't won anything yet. Kate, you wanted to just get the free ride.
I mean, yeah. Why would I want the still potential of not making it to the final 3? I believe that Curtin Flint was hidden for a little bit from me.
Oh, really?
But
So you think there was some sabotage
I have no
going on?
proof of that, but I do suspect that.
So you have 0 experience with the Flint.
No, I
You
have.
did try some at least.
Yes,
Okay. You think you're going to be going to do fire?
I'm pretty confident I'm going to be fire.
Okay. Hime, did you get to practice any?
Barely.
Well, Kurt, why don't you just tell us who is it that you're going to bring with you to the final tribal and who are you sending to fire?
I'm gonna bring Nate with me, then Kate and Hime make fire.
All right. Kate and Hime, here we go. All right, Kate and Hime, your time to shine is here. Survivors ready? Go. This challenge is on. Kate's getting some sparks here. Nothing's caught. Hime's been shaving a lot of magnesium. Starting to get some sparks now too. You honestly both look proficient. Some extra fuel if you want to try that. I don't know if it'll work any better or not.
Well, I'm ready.
Oh, baby. Oh, look at this. Make sure you're giving it oxygen. Kate's starting to get a good flame here. Hime, you're not out of it. I've seen fires die. They die a lot of the time in infancy. Okay, you're gonna need to start getting sticks there, yeah. Hime's got a flame now.
No!
It's not dead yet. It's not dead yet. Don't smother it. Don't waste what you have. It's going to need better fuel. Hime's starting to get a nice little fire going here. You got to build a nice big fire, big enough to burn through that string.
First could burn down, Kate. You never know.
Yeah, she could run out of fuel. Don't give up. Hey, I'm proud of both of you. You did a great job. All right, Kate. The tribe has spoken. All right, take your seat on the jury. Congratulations, you three. You have made it to the end of a game that is not easy to make it to the end of. 3 days out here isn't easy, so I don't care what any of these jury members say to you. I'm proud of you guys. The name of the game is outwit, outplay, and outlast. You have outlasted every single one of them. There are reasons, though, why you are sitting here and they are sitting there, and you're going to have to answer to those tonight. Because now, the power in the game shifts from you guys to them. And you need to let each of them know why they should give you their vote to win $100. Kurt, you're off first. Give us your opening statement.
So, in Survivor, there's really 2 forms of currency. There's trust and there's information. I believe that I was able to outwit and outlast and outplay because I used the relationships that I built, the trust that I had built to gain information in the game so that there was never a tribal council that I was blindsided, with the exception of one, and that was the bin vote. I was told Hunter, Mark, and Kate were going to vote Hime, but instead they blindsided Cassie and I and voted Cassie. And if you notice, Hunter and Mark were the next two to be voted out after that tribal council. Cassie and I started working together from the very beginning of the game. Now I know Cassie's a great player and I was always cautious of her, but still trusted her. I believe that because I was able to just manage trust and information well, and really like balancing the two and balancing my position within the tribe or the whole merge tribe, that's why I believe I deserve to win.
All right. Nate, tell us why you should win.
I came here with one goal in mind, and that was to win, and that directed every single thing I did out here. I think I would add one other thing to his currency thing. I think options is a currency. At the very beginning, Ben and I started to get close. We started strategizing a lot together, and he became my number one. We set ourselves up really good pre-merge. Ben and I had the idea to just act like we're on the bottom, see if we could get any information, especially concerning an idol, from the Oranges or the Narangs. Other than Lucas's idol, I knew about or had in possession of every advantage in the game, including a knowledge is power, which I did not have to play, because the only people I could have used it on were Lucas, which I did not know about his idol. You know, I could have played it on Ben with a steal a boat. I could have stolen a steal a boat, but that would not have been smart for my game. Or I could have played it on Curtis. And if I would have stolen his idol, that would not have been smart for my game, because that would have burned that bridge, and I was able to get to the end with him. So I had this as an option that I did not need to use. I know I've lied to most of you, if not all of you, at many points, and I'm owning up to that. I was deceitful from the very beginning. I wasn't even fully truthful with my number one, Ben. I didn't tell him about the idol, and he asked me multiple times about an idol. But I'm ready for any questions you have.
Well, guys, I know how is Hime in this mix, because clearly he's not one of the strongest links. Come on. It was obvious to me since before even coming to play that I was not gonna excel in challenges because I am not an athlete. However, I did know that it would be smart for me to lay low as much as possible. And I felt like I was friendly to all of the strongest groups, and at some point they didn't even know that I was maybe working with the other side, and they were telling me things, and I actually found myself after the merge in a very interesting position, because Hunter and the Red Tribe was offering me a lot of things. And I know that I had a very strong bond with Cassie and with Curtis. They didn't know that I was working with them, and that gave me options. Which actually I don't think at any point I felt like my name was much out there. So I feel like me laying low was actually pretty good. I mean, nobody was thinking of me as a threat at all.
We're now going to shift over to the jury. Each of you, if you so desire, has the opportunity to ask a question. Go ahead, whoever was ready to start.
First off, congratulations on all three of you. You're where we all want to be sitting. There's no doubt about that. So props to your gameplay. What about your social game? Influence the decisions of the players?
I tried to spread some disinformation, like I said. Another thing I did, I tried to make fake idols that nobody found. This one was hanging in a tree. Nobody found this one. I thought this one was shinier and more believable, so I put that with my actual note. And I understand I'm telling you guys a lot of things that did not work, but effort is there. But I had options the whole time.
Some people were just throwing Curtis' name out there, basically. I realized I really wanted to stick close to Curtis and Cassie, and I was like, I'm gonna vote Jacob, because you know that's what my group is saying right now. I had some power in the sense that I could gain their trust by letting them, the other team think that I was on their side. I actually went and talked to Curtis on the side, and I told him, I'm gonna write your name down, but I want you to know it's not real, because the one that's getting voted out is Jacob, because I know they have the numbers. After we voted Jacob out, it was clear to me that Ben was freaking out a little. When we were going to vote out Ben, they thought they had me into their numbers, which they didn't. But because I have voted Curtis, I feel like they really believed that I was on their side, especially you, Nate, who I really made him believe that I was voting for Mark, and that's who we actually went for.
Kurt, what is one move that you did that you feel like nobody saw?
The biggest move for me was the start of the vote of you out. You had pitched an idea between you and Mark. You guys had a Final Four deal. You proposed bringing me in. Mark proposed bringing Kate in. I considered that idea, but I felt like we could get the numbers to get Mark out, which just felt like it made more sense to me, but then I had to figure out what to do with you. I didn't want to cut us off yet, because you had been a reliable source of information, a reliable source of trust. That was a vote where I was able to get what I wanted without burning any bridges. That ended up working out, and then that ended up leading to the next vote, which was you. That was the hardest vote for me. I had to basically decide, do I believe you guys actually do want to work with me, or do I believe that Kate, Hime, and Nate would join with me to get marked out?
I want to read a Bible verse. I've been sharing this with some of my tribe mates because I learned a lot yesterday, and God has done some cool things. In John 15:13, it says, "No one has greater love than this, to lay down his life for his friends." And so I laid my life down for Mark, and that was pretty cool. It was a joy set before me. Just like Jesus, it was a joy set before him to lay his life down for us. Obviously, it ended in my demise, and I'm totally content with that. But what was a move in your game that you had to sacrifice something that actually helped you further your game? Try to keep that short, but we'd love to hear about that.
I had to sacrifice my idol playing it before I wanted to play it because I didn't believe that Kate was going to vote with me.
I had to sacrifice my ability to build trust using my idol because I saw it as more valuable to keep that hidden and remove any sort of target that would have been placed on me instead. Especially when I was at the bottom, I could have used that to get into a majority. I could have used that to build trust, but I was confident that I did not need to show anybody my idol. So it was my move to not disclose information.
So my question is for Hime. Everybody loves an underdog story, and you coming into the game were an underdog in multiple ways. Definitely knew probably less of the people here than a lot of other people. Also were in a very small minority of women compared to men in the game. How did you overcome those obstacles and utilize your position to further yourself in the game?
I just felt like I had very important conversations with people to let them know where I was standing and that, I'm set on this and this is what I'm going for, and I still try to lay low. I mean, really the only way I feel like I moved forward was using all the big ones as shields, basically. So I had Mark, I had Cassie, and I had Kurt. I feel like that's how I kept moving forward because I kept trying to get close to them so they would keep pulling me in.
So the jury is a bit confused about the decision to bring Kurt to the Final Four. So we were just wondering if you guys could give us some of the logic behind that decision, and also Kurt, if you could talk about if there was anything specific that you said to sway your tribe.
I saw Cassie as the bigger threat. I saw Cassie as somebody who pioneered more moves and took charge in more moves than Kurt did. And I think Kurt was along on a lot of those moves, but Cassie took ownership of those moves. And I did not want to be up here with Cassie because she has relationships with you guys. She knows you guys well. She was on friendly terms with many of the jury members, and I was afraid of that. So I did not want that sitting next to me.
I agree. I also thought that you were so sweet. Like, you just had everybody in your pocket, and I was like, oh no, she's gonna win them over for sure.
I mean, something that I did or said was that Cassie was a threat. I started that pretty early in the merge. I was like, hey, I would be open to getting Cassie out, and I let that information go more throughout the game. But yeah, I got to talk to Kate, Hime, and Nate, and I played Cassie's threat level up.
I don't think you played it up.
You were a threat.
We all recognized it.
But I made sure that it felt higher than mine.
Each of you we're not initiating games. Like I said, just give us one thing. Each of you think, I initiated this, I was a really tricky a success that you want to just put at the forefront. Yeah, I did.
I voted out Cassie.
Well, I don't think he led the vote on Cassie. I know I talked to Kate and Hime about voting Cassie. I know that those are conversations I had prior to that vote with many other people concerning Cassie as a threat and not wanting to sit at her with Final Three. I think he worked with everybody else's suspicions, and I don't think he pioneered that at all. But something I think I took part in was consolidating power. Like I mentioned before, I had knowledge of all the power in the game, and I wanted to make sure that that was something I was in control of and nobody else was. I had the knowledge of power, and I was able to be in control of who had what advantage at what time except for Lucas, because I was unaware of that. There were other advantages in idols that I could have controlled that I didn't think would be best for my game.
I initiated a lot of conversations with people so that I would have the options that I had. And so that was me mostly getting information to know what I could trade off or not. And that's something I can say I did start it myself because I was doing it for myself. So. But yeah.
Played a great game. It was fun interacting with some of you. I would like to go a little bit negative. I'd like to hear you guys make an argument why someone sitting next to you should not win.
I'll pick on Nate. All love my brother. But you were talking about like having options early on, and I think there was maybe like 4 votes in a row that you were left out on, and then you were brought back in once Cassie and I had thought that we needed to bring you back in. For me at least, it felt more like you were an option for me, less than I was an option for you.
I think with Curtis, a lot of his strategy, like I said before, was pioneered by Cassie. I think that Cassie was driving a lot of those votes, such as the Jacob blindside. Cassie orchestrated that great last minute, and I think that was one of the biggest moves of the game. I don't think Curtis did much orchestrating, rather than just gathering the troops for a plan that's already made.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to say something like about Nate. Sorry. I just felt like he was really easy to pull in or out. Like, I mean, there was at some point of the game where like he approached me. He was like, "Just tell me whoever it is." That's why I also made vote Mark when everybody was voting for Ben.
I think all 3 of you played a very high-level game, and it was great working with you guys. But my question for you is, what is the biggest mistake that you made in the game?
I think what might look like my biggest mistake, which is not, I'm going to get to my biggest, was the fake idol. Curtis and Cass can both attest that I knew it was a fake going into it, and I was going to play it because I knew that the other tribe made it using Lucas's paper. I tried to make myself look shocked and sell it, but that was not a mistake. I knew what I was doing that whole time. My mistake was allowing my alliance with Ben to be so obvious, because even the other tribe approached me saying, "Oh yeah, we saw you and Ben working together from the other side. We knew something was going on." That put a huge target on my back, and that's why I was left out of votes, because of that relationship I had. I think I should have been more discreet and just careful about that relationship, knowing how much of a threat he was.
I feel my biggest mistake was maybe being too obvious to how much Hunter was whispering to me, and I was whispering back to him. Because ultimately that got him out. I feel like I also should have been more discreet.
Yeah, one last question for you, Nate. Going off of what you just said, I think maybe an undervalued part of your game was managing the relationship between you and I.
And I would just like to hear you talk about how that was a challenge, how that was a threat, and how you managed that situation and maybe even used it as an advantage.
What a great question. It was so hard. At the beginning, I knew that my main priority was to make it known that I wasn't willing to work with you at all. So I went around telling everybody, I know Hunter will write my name down in a second. And that's why you can count on me to vote him out. It was easier before the merge because we were not together, so I didn't have to worry that much about it, you know, except right about to go into the merge. It was hard because obviously my strongest alliances started questioning me towards you, and I had to be honest at some point with one of them, and it was Kurt, and I told him, do not count on my vote for Hunter. If you're going to do it, just don't count on it. And that's exactly the moment they kind of blindsided me a little for who their vote was for, and that's when they got you out. But I had to be honest. Like, if they needed you out, I didn't want to be part of that. I couldn't. So I did whisper in his ear a little, like, I'm not taking part of that, but just make sure you know it's not my vote.
Let's hear a closing statement, and when I say brief, I mean brief. Closing statement from each of you.
Seems like there may be some confusion of whether or not Cassie was leading me the whole time. I just want to say I've played the game before where I emerge as the perceived leader of every single vote. I didn't want to do that again because that didn't work out for me. That was part of my strategy in pairing up with Cassie, was because I thought we could work together, but I could also somewhat hide behind her because I knew that she would be perceived as a big threat. And at the end of the day, I was able to break my game away from her game by voting her out.
Obviously, based off what Cassie and Curtis said, I misread the strength in their alliance. But I still don't think that hurt me because I'm still here able to make my case. One thing Curtis said was that Cassie and Curtis brought me back in because they were able to bring me back in. I think they brought me back in because they had to. And I had a choice to vote Curtis. They told me with full confidence they were voting for Curtis. I was able to relay that information to Curtis confidently because they were able to tell me that because I made them think I was with them. So I had to choose between them and Cassie and Curtis. They didn't choose me, I chose them. They had to choose me. So I told Curtis, and that's why he was able to place Idol on himself.
Well, guys, I just want to say this has been really fun, and I really try to play the game to the best of my knowledge and skills, because I am not the most strong one or the most athletic one. I just did my best, and I want you all to know that I had fun, and I hope that you guys did too. And yeah, that's all.
We are now going to move to our voting. Jury, you are voting for the winner, okay? So you're not voting somebody out. The name that you write down on the paper is the person that you want to win this game. I'm sure you can get us started.
Played a pretty near perfect game, and I have no reservations when I write your name down tonight, buddy. Massive props, man. You rock.
To be honest, I don't know if I'm fully even know what I'm voting for.
Been here from almost the beginning. I've gotten to watch all of these players play awesome games. I wish you the best, and I hope you win.
As much as I love to play as the other final three, yours were subtle, small, a bit chaotic, but there was never lack of effort, and there were successes there that I wish you talked about during your tribal. Also, this is a bit despite Cassie.
I think you had a good strategy, and I think she played me a little bit, but I think it worked.
Ime, I love your energy. You played an amazing game. I love an underdog story. I hope it's you, and I really appreciate the way you played. Way better than Nate. Cassie controlled Kurt. That's what I think.
To the three of you, and honestly to you jury members and anybody else who's a part of this season, I just want to say thank you. I think this is the best season of Survivor that we've ever had here, so give yourselves a round of applause. This was a well-played season. I had a lot of fun hosting it. I think there was a lot of good moves that were made in this game. I think each of you made a great case for yourselves at Final Tribal, and I'm sure you're excited to see who this checks for. So let's get to it. First vote, Kurt. Next vote, Ime. Nate. Everyone's got one vote. Kurt. Ime. Kurt. 3 votes Kurt. 2 votes Ime. 1 vote Nate. Kurt. Kurt. And the winner of Survivor 46. Do you think that you can be the next Kurt, moving through the game, getting people to work with you, trust you, being able to eventually pull out the big $100 win? Or maybe you think that you can play like Nate, learning to find all the different advantages and idols and navigate your way through the game that way. Or you think that you can be like Cassie, learning to pull the strings and come up with different plans and get people to go along with you. Whatever it is, we need all different kinds of players to make this great game what it is. So apply to come on and be a part of Survivor.